Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video, I discussed about the introduction of history, its division, ancient, medieval and modern, starting of modern Indian history and some important incidents. In this video, I am going to proceed further and going to discuss about the advent of European, in which I am going to discuss about the factors for the advent of European countries towards different countries, Portuguese advent, and about the governors appointed in India, their work, and the reasons for declination of Portuguese, arrival of Dutch and English companies in India. So, what are we waiting for? Let's jump to the first topic, which is the advent of European. In the 15th and the 16th century, the trade between the Europe and Orient had revived. It was mainly due to Renaissance, Reformation, and geographical discoveries. There are many factors which led to the geographical discoveries, such as geographical limitation of Western Europe. Western Europe was surrounded by water, so the mobility of people was very limited. Therefore, they tried to find out new oceanic trade route to travel long distances. Portugal and Spain had taken the lead in geographical discoveries. The Portugal King Henry, who was also known as Henry the Navigator, established a navigation college in Portugal. There were many trained navigators such as Columbus and Vasco da Gama, etc., and they had started voyage. Second reason was hegemony of Arabic and Italian trader. Arabian and the Italian traders totally controlling the trades between East and West. Arabians supply goods to Italian and Italian used to sell them to the high price to the Western European countries. Therefore, Europeans they wanted to have the alternate route via ocean to connect with the east so that they can also have their own trade. Third reason was the fall of Constantinople. In 1453, Osmanian Turk Mehmed II had captured the Constantinople, thereby disconnecting the trade between the European and the Orient. Therefore, Europe explored the oceanic route to connect with the East. Fourth and the last reason, which I think was the religious zeal of the Spanish. The Spanish missionaries wanted to spread Christianity all over the world. They tried to reach South America by taking risk of life through oceanic route. The impact of geographical discoveries was assessed by Adam Smith. He said, two greatest and most important events recorded in the history of mankind were the discovery of America and the Cape route to India. Columbus reached America in 1492 and Vasco da Gama came to India in 1498. Let us proceed with the next topic, which is the advent of Portuguese. Vasco da Gama in 1498 reached Calicut with the help of the Gujarati merchant Abdul Majid. He was welcomed by the Calicut ruler Zamorin, whose real name was Manu Vikram Verma. He restarted India's trade in Europe in spices. He came to India thrice and he paved the way for the establishment of Portuguese Empire in India. He was known as Estado de India. Portuguese had established their factory at first in the Cochin, then in Ceylon, which is also known as Kollam, and in Calicut, and ultimately they found Goa, and Goa became their main center. Salsette and Basin in Maharashtra emerged very powerful center. Ceylon was also captured by Portuguese. Ceylon is now Sri Lanka. After a visit of Vasco da Gama, Portuguese government had appointed governors in India. The first Portuguese governor was Francis de Almeida from 1505 to 1509. He followed the blue water policy. He said that there should be no interference to the local politics and to control the Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. He faced challenges from alliance of ruler of Gujarat, Muhammad Beghda, and naval fleet of Egyptian Mamluk. Almeida fought two wars. First, the Battle of Chaul in 1508, where he lost, and the second one, in which his son also died, whose name was Lorenzo de Almeida. In the second battle, he defeated the alliance and the lead to the foundation of his empire. The second fight was Battle of Diu in the 1509. Next came the Albuquerque in 1509 to 1515. He was founder of Portuguese Empire in India. He captured Goa from Bijapur state in 1510. He concluded treaty with the ruler of Vijayanagar, Krishnadev Rai, in 1511. There were two important terms of treaty. First, Portuguese will sell all the horses only to the Vijayanagar Empire state. Secondly, the Vijayanagar state will help Portuguese in expansion towards Bijapur state. This treaty helped Portuguese in consolidation of Portuguese empire. First Portuguese ambassador was appointed in Vijayanagar Empire and his was Frere Luis. Albuquerque abolished Sati Pratha in Goa and encouraged the sailors and the merchants to marry with the Indian women, especially the widow Indian women, in order to increase their population and to spread Christianity also. Third governor was Nino da Culha, and he came in 1529 till 38 he was here. He did only one work, and that was he transferred the capital from Cochin to Goa. Last one was the Alfonso de Souza. He came in the year 1542 and he stayed for very short period for till 45. He converted 7 lakh lower class fishermen in Goa. During his time, Francis Xavier, a missionary, came to India. Francis Xavier went to China and died there. His body was brought back to Goa. His mummy was placed in a church, Bom Jesus Basilisk. Each year, church organized a feast in memory of Francis Xavier. Now let us understand what was the reason for decline of the Portuguese power. Portuguese had advantage of coming to India almost a century before Europeans. But Portuguese lost in India in the hands of Dutch and English. Rise of English power in India was totally due to some other factors, but declination of Portuguese greatly helped English. There were many factors which lead to decline of Portuguese power in India. First was the Portugal was in the state of decline. Its population was only 1 million. It was a feudal society in which nobles and the priests had social support. Merchants, traders were not getting support from the governance. So the government was not helping them, that's why they declined. Secondly, Portuguese had frequently changed the nature of trade. They started trade in spices, then to horses trade, and the last trade was in the bullions. Ultimately, cartage became their main source of income. Now we should understand what is cartage. Cartage was trading pass provided by the Portuguese to other ships, to the other country ships we can say, in the name of protection. There were many centers opened by Portuguese to sell the cartage, known as Fitorias. In English, it is fort. So they used to sell the cartage to the other country ships, and those who were not ready to buy this cartage, they used to rob those countries' ships. Next, the condition is the Portuguese gave main importance to profit maximization rather than structural consolidation. They had hierarchy of sailors and merchants. They did not create administrative and management staff. So there were nobody to maintain the administrative functions in the state. Next, many Portuguese governors were involved in conversions in Christianity. As I have mentioned, Nino da Cunha, who was the last governor, he converted nearly about not Nino da Cunha, Alfonso de Souza. He converted 7 lakh lower caste fishermen in Goa. Even Albuquerque also tried and encouraged the people or sailors to marry Indian women. So their main motive was to convert the people into Christianity and promoting marriage with the Indian women. It led to the rise of social conflict, which undermined their trading capacity. Now, the Indian men, or we can say the Indian society, was against the Portuguese. Next, we are having the after discovery of Brazil. So, what happened? The Portuguese diverted its attention from India to Brazil. The Brazilian condition was very much similar to India, and it was very resourceful also. It has it was easy for Portuguese to reach Brazil rather than coming to India. So we can say the route for Brazil from Portuguese was much easier, so they shifted from India to Brazil. And the last, maybe we can say some other reason was the Portuguese have dependency on Spain for navy support. In 1588, Spanish armada was defeated by England. So Cape Route was opened for other Europeans. Dutch and English challenged the Portuguese monopoly in India. Portuguese had backup of trading relation with Mughal. They successfully integrated trading opportunity with Europe. In 1612, there was a Battle of Swali. It is near Surat, in which Captain Best of English defeated Portuguese. It had generated the confidence of Mughal in English. So now the Mughals, they had confidence in English and they lost the confidence in Portuguese. Therefore, in 1613, Jahangir, who was the then Mughal ruler, issued farman and permitted English to construct factories. Thereafter, English eliminated Portuguese trade in India. After the defeat of Armada, Portugal wanted to come out of Spanish dependency. Therefore, Portugal wanted to take help from England. Portuguese Princess Catherine Braganza married with British Prince Charles. There was a transfer of dowry in the form of Bombay. So, Bombay, now you can understand, which is a part of India, was given by the Portuguese to the English as a form of dowry. Thereby, Portuguese lost biggest commercial center in India, and it was advantageous to English. Only Goa remained the Portuguese with the Portuguese till 1961. By this, we have understood what were the reasons for the declination of Portuguese. Next, we are having the advent of Dutch. Dutch is the people from the Holland or Netherlands. Dutch East India Company or United East India Company was formed in the year 1602. They established their first factory in Masulipatam. They were more interested in eastern coast of India. They established factories at Pulicat, Nagapatnam, Balasore, and Patna. They re-established the market of Indian cotton in Europe. Cotton textile was main item of trade along with indigo. Indigo, as we know, that is a color. Raw silk and opium, they snatched Ceylon even, which is Sri Lanka, from Portuguese. Next is the advent of English. They established a company, English East India Company. Initially, the advent of English in India was more like an accident rather than organized. Effect later on, there was organized effort taken by government and the merchant, which gave huge foundation to British colonial system. Thomas Stevens was the first Englishman who reached Goa for missionary activities. Ralph Finch was the first Englishman reached in the court of Akbar. He gave valuable information regarding prospects of trades, taxation system and the ports of India to the English. Next came the Drake. Drake, he came to India via sea route. John Middleton Hall came to India by land route. After their informations a company was established in England known as Governor and the Merchants of London, trading in East India. In short, it is called East India Company or the Joint Stock Company. It was a private organization in which all the investors were shareholders. Even Queen Elizabeth was the largest shareholder of the company. The company applied for the charter, which is known as Royal Order, or we can say the Farman in Mughal court, before British Parliament. It received charter on 31st December 1600, in which it was clearly mentioned that the East India Company will be the only company of England having trading right with India and East. It is called trading monopoly. No competition at home. Then initially this charter was granted for 15 years. Later on it was extended for indefinite period in 1609 before the expiry of its term. Company established its first factory at Surat. Here, factory is not what we are understanding that these days we are having. It is referred to as administrative office or warehouse or the trading depot. One of the servants of East India Company, whose name was Captain Hawkins, approached Jahangir for formal trading permission, but due to strong Portuguese lobby in Mughal court, Hawkins failed to get the trading concession. Jahangir gave the title Khan to Hawkins. He became Mughal Mansamdar with 400 ranks. In the year 1612, Captain Best defeated Portuguese in the Battle of Swali, as I have mentioned before. It is near Surat. Thereafter, in 1613, Jahangir, who was now having the confidence with English, issued a farman to construct official factory at Surat. So the factory which was constructed in Surat in 1608, now it became the official factory in 1613. The other factories were in Masulipatnam, Calicut, Agra, Patna, etc. So by this, I am concluding my video, and if you find my video useful, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you.